Want to get ahead in digital-first content? The Drop is the go-to newsletter for industry professionals, delivering insider news, trends, and insights straight to your inbox. Navigate the fast-changing landscape of digital-first production, distribution, and monetization. Sign up now for free at dropmedia.co.uk and stay informed with The Drop.
And I told my investor at the time, I said, this is the next big thing. We need to get involved. We have made arguably one of the biggest budget for vertical that UK have ever done. Vertical drama has a problem that I'm not afraid to say out loud. Once you convert the audience to the app, then you are more than halfway to succeed.
What do you think that UK TV producers might misunderstand about the economics of microdrama and the approach in microdrama? Hi, I'm Justin Crosby and welcome to another TellyCast. This week, my guest is Samantha Sun, an emerging force in the microdrama space here in the UK. She's a producer at ReelForce, a studio focused on high-volume, data-driven vertical storytelling for social video platforms. Her work centres on fast turnaround scripted micro-series, blending creative development with analytics-led iteration. Samantha, welcome to TellyCast. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm okay. This is our new set. So if you'd have been with us a couple of weeks ago, we'd have been at a round table that I've been using for ages. But this is, for anybody who's just listening on audio, we're on nice comfy sofas now, right?
Really
this is
cozy.
okay.
I watched your previous episode before, and
this is
for
better,
me,
right?
It's a lot more cozy.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm sort of morning TV or something like that on the sofa. Anyway, well, listen, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. So you've been involved in microdrama series for a number of years.
Yeah.
One of the people at the cutting edge of the industry. It's obviously a fascinating area. A lot of people in the traditional TV industry and the content creation space are talking about this now. So before we get into that, tell us a bit about your experience, because I know you're a producer for ReelForce now.
Yeah.
But actually, before ReelForce, you've been established as a microdrama producer. Tell us about what you've done in your career up to this base.
Since 2023, I was at the time working for another company. At the beginning, we were doing like interactive film/game kind of thing. But at the end of 2023, I personally think, at the time, we already seen the rising of drama box and real short. At the time, those are like maybe the only big two. And I told my investor at the time, I said, this is the next big thing. We need to get involved. And since then, for that company, we were internally developing our own platform, and I was in charge of the content creation. So we were, since 2023, we were developing our own script, produced arguably maybe one of the first 5 verticals that have been made in UK, working with Dan Lawinstein, who is our amazing director. Shout out to Dan. I made another two in America, made another 2 in China, and then unfortunately, the platform did not come to life. So I ended up selling all the shows that we have made to DramaBox. Ever since then, I was a freelancer producer that working with a business partner that we have done a lot of commission from platforms, like vertical platforms. And then I joined ReelForce last year, around August time. And ever since we have made arguably one of the biggest budget for vertical that UK have ever done. Yeah, and it's on air now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what that budget is?
I would say double like a regular vertical. Yeah,
Okay.
Because it's a medieval fantasy genre, and there's a lot of costume, big, majestic locations, and a lot of post-production involved. We have wig master on set.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like on one day, we have more than 90 people on set involved, all Korean cast. And we have a real historical castle as one of our locations. So yeah, the scale is different for that one.
So in terms of, I'm not going to ask you to give me a full amount, but are we talking between under £1 million in budget?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more than £500,000?
No.
Okay, so it's under £500,000, but but that is still significant, right? If you're getting up to the top end of that,
half of that less than half of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
still
fascinating. Any TV drama producers are like listening to this and be like, "Oh my god, how the hell did you do that?" But we're going to come on to that.
Yeah.
So, how many micro drama series have you produced then, roughly up to this point?
I would say at this point, more than 10, close to 15.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's interesting. You talked about one of your first roles. There's a lot of parallels between the games industry and microdrama apps in terms of micro payments, etc.
Yeah.
Was that an important part of your career? Do you think that informs really how you approach producing microdramas now?
Not necessarily. Like from the application end, yes, the monetization is kind of like gamified in a way, but in terms of how to make. I think the idea from vertical drama or / micro drama is that how to make people addicted to it. Like how a mobile game made people addicted to, spending more and more time on their phone, on the small little game. So for that, I think the concept is like similar, but not necessarily the same. And my interactive film / game experience haven't really brought to life into vertical yet. But I know there are platforms like ReelForce that have already explored that genre. I think because they're charging people more to unlock more options for that kind of interaction, they're not doing that well at the time, in the vertical world at least.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, let's talk about microdrama as a genre as a whole. I mean, it's obviously incredibly popular in Asia, really exploded there about 3-4 years ago, or maybe has it been prevalent a lot longer than that?
I think the explosion, it probably started 2021, but there are things going on way before that. But I think the reason for that is, my personal understanding is that China got hit by the pandemic before the rest of the world. So the industry has been completely shut down for that reason and have been really quiet for a really long time. So the investor with the capital, with the money, they were more withhold, like spectacle when it comes to investing anything like big scale, traditional long film and television, that kind of stuff. So they're looking for something that are more flexible, more
quicker
low budget.
turnaround to returns as well.
Yeah. And also the idea of TikTok also come from the Chinese Douyin, like Beta Dan. It's a Chinese company. I think that the Chinese people already are so hooked to the vertical digital format as their way of consuming entertainment.
And it's obviously been picked up in the States as well. We're seeing a lot of activity, a lot of investment coming in now. Fox have obviously invested into Holy Water, and there's a number of different investments from various different businesses across Europe as well we're starting to see. What do you think has really sort of triggered? Has there been a tipping point, do you think, in the States that made this obviously, the business model and the amount of money that a lot of these really successful drama shows are making?
Yeah.
That's probably the tipping point. I'm probably answering my own question here. Do you think there are any shows or is any moments that you can see that have made a major leap forward in the last couple of years, particularly in the States?
I think it's the Hollywood turn to microdrama. It's not only because what microdrama has been done. It's also about what's happening in Hollywood at the time. If they're doing that well, they probably won't be that interested. But apparently, for whatever reason, Hollywood is not doing that great. Even the traditional film and television industry in this country, in the UK, where we're talking about it, it's not doing that well. So it might be many different reasons behind why it's the way it is. But I think that the people are more hooked to smaller screen rather than the bigger screen is probably one of the reasons.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this payment model then.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a lot about how you develop a show to sit within that payment model. But typically, for anybody that hasn't watched a micro drama series and gone through the process of paying, making micro payment, tell us about how that how many episodes can you watch on an app before? Because most of them are obviously sat within apps, aren't they? You mentioned Drama Box and ReelForce, and there are obviously lots of others now. Take us through the typical viewer process of going through watching free episodes and then being asked to pay. Take us through that a little bit.
So it's normally one episode from 1 minute to probably 2.5 minutes. And normally is from 30 to 70 episodes per show. It really depends on the platform. Each platform has their own way to approach it. And what the platform do is that they put their either trailer or like the first 3 couple of the episodes on social media like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. So, and use paid ad to make it into people's feed. And when people see that and they get hooked, then they will find out, they will be asked to jump to the Apple Store or Google Play to download an app and register on the app. Then when you turn to the app, you can still see the free episode that you already watched on the social media, but then you have to unlock to watch the rest of the show. And when it comes to that business model, there are platforms that are doing subscription. Sometimes the subscription give you like ad free, or sometimes it give you still ad, but you can pay to, remove the ad. Or if you don't want to subscribe, you can also pay to unlock each episode by episode, where you can unlock the rest of all the episodes as a package for a discount. And they also have this gamified kind of model that is, for example, they have the coin system. You can top up, and the more you top up, they give you more in reward. And you can for example, if you keep logging in for a whole week, they will give you some free coin for free to the reward, encouraging you to spend more time on their app. Yeah.
Okay, and presumably that works then, because traditionally, I suppose migrating a viewer from a YouTube short to downloading an app and going to their app store and downloading an app, there's a sort of a clunky process, right? That's like, taking them outside of YouTube, taking them onto the app store and then downloading and registering. And what is it, that trailer, those initial trailers must be incredibly attractive to encourage that. So how do you make them attractive?
I'm Eileen.
I'm Spencer, and we host the Royal Highness Podcast.
And for the past 2 years, we've watched George Ruh-Roh Martin shows, and then we've talked about them while we're still in hand.
Unscripted, unhinged, and gluten-free.
We've covered Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and then we kind of veered over to The Last Kingdom, but then Westeros once again called.
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms premiered January 18th.
So, while we hit pause on Uhtred and the final Fardacy panty, come on over, join us for Duncan Egg's adventures from a more elevated perspective.
Hey, we're current, we're topical this time.
And between new drops every Wednesday, catch up on our back catalog. Click the link, find us in your favorite podcast app, or search for us on YouTube.
Rated R for language and some nudity.
How can I put it? It's like, this is not negotiable to us that to make the first, no matter if the first 8 free episodes or the first 10 episodes, make it as extravagant as possible. We spend the most resource on those episodes, the best location, the best post-production value, and because the script also written in that way, like they spend the first 10 episodes really like trying to snatch people's attention and make people hook. And from the production side of it is that we spend the most time, we spend the most money on it to make sure the first 10 episodes always look as good as possible.
Right.
And the acting, we spend more time polishing the acting for the first 10 episodes always.
Okay.
Once you convert the audience to the app, then you are more than halfway to succeed.
Yeah, that's it. But that's the big challenge, is converting them. Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, well, let's talk about talent as well. What qualities or characteristics are there within the talent that you choose to portray roles in microdramas? I mean, what obviously, are they just great actors that you're looking at? Is there anything in particular you're looking for the type of talent that you cast in microdramas that you might not cast them in a normal TV drama?
I would say, first of all, especially when I work with the Chinese background platform, they are looking for a specific look.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the look?
Okay, I'm going to put it really straightforward. I would say they're looking for Barbie and Ken.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's vertical drama has a problem that I'm not afraid to say out loud, that is the lack of diversity is incredibly horrible. I don't think that I have the position to say why is that or how we can solve it, because I'm not I'm not a CEO of the big platform, but I do think that is I understand that we need attractive people, but attractive people.
Casting. I mean, that's every TV drama.
Every ethnicity.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But they probably think that the majority of the audience are like white women, so they probably only want to see white women and white men. But from what living in the UK, from what I understand, that's not necessarily the truth. I tried to convince them multiple times, but never worked out.
Right.
But I can see there's more diversity coming into it from the platform that have like American background or like Ukraine background, let's say my drama.
Yeah,
that's one thing. And the other thing is we are looking for talent that really flexible in terms of like can quickly adapt to a new way of working, because it's really, really fast. We need you to learn your line really quick. We need you to give your emotion like as quick as possible. Like you're on it.
Yeah.
Action, then you are on it. Like give us 100.
So give us an idea of, it's obviously the production is really compressed into a series, being shot over a week or so?
10
days?
We are looking at a script that is like a regular modern rom-com setting, we will be normally we would do it in 8 days for a script that has 100 pages.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long does the cast have the script to work with to learn their lines? On average? A couple of days?
I would say if they get the script a week before, that would be a really smooth one. Yeah, but if they are given the script like 3 days before, that would be considered not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Well, it's well, hopefully, you're talking about talent and being sort of fairly stereotypical in terms of this, but I guess we're still fairly young in the evolution of microdramas, certainly in the UK, for a UK audience.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see that sort of diversify as the audience gets bigger. Talking about each episode, we've talked about, the focus on the first few episodes to obviously drive that adoption. How about, that 2-minute or 90-second episode? When you're developing the script for that, and I know you're not a script writer and that's not your area, you're not working on the creative side.
I actually went to university to study script writing for 4 years in China.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't do that in vertical.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a producer in vertical.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Sorry, that was the kind of assumption from myself, but you're more involved in the production side necessarily than the creative side. Yeah. What is it within that 90 seconds or 2 minutes that you have to ensure that every episode delivers? I mean, are there a number of beats, a number of non-negotiables that you have to incorporate in that short amount of time? What are they and how many are there? I
would say it's like still like the classic 3 acts, right? But within every 90 seconds.
The beginning, middle, and end in every second.
Yeah, and you end with the cliffhanger. You end with the hook. That's a must. Yeah. So, but the cliffhanger, there's so many ways to do it, right? Like we can end with the 2 characters kiss each other, and the audience will be like, "What's gonna happen?" You can end with someone slap someone in the face. You can end with someone say something really awful about another person, and we want to see in the next episode if the other character are going to fight back, or they're just going to take it. So and we can do it physically as well. Like someone jump out of the building, like what's going to happen next? We have actually done it before, like jumping off the rooftop in your wedding dress. Yeah, something crazy like that. And
it's like that moment in EastEnders with the drum beat that comes in up on the end. You know, there's always there. It's that, but obviously, you know, incorporated into 90 seconds.
It might be corny, but it works.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It does work. Clearly, it does work. I mean, some of these major microdrama apps are talking about extraordinary amounts of money that some of these. I mean, do you get given that? What sort of figures do you think are the most successful microdramas actually generating when it comes to revenue?
But in terms of revenue, we are talking about, are we saying the revenues are generated for the platform or to the production?
For the platform.
To the platform, I think okay, so here's the thing. When they put 100 show on, not necessarily 100, that would be an exaggeration, but when, let's say they put like 30 shows on their app every single month, not all of them going to be a hit. Many of them going to be flopped. But one show, if it's really like a hit, it can cover all of the rest of the flops, the budget, the cost for all of the rest of the flops in the show, but also still make revenue. So that's how big the number can get.
Right.
Yeah.
So going back to sort of the story beats and the type of content. So it's often, you know, it does play to stereotypes still a little bit, you know, and I suppose the kind of Mills and Boon type of romance, you know, whether it's the secretary falling in love with the CEO or, you know, we've seen a number of these different...
It's Cinderella in a different way.
Cinderella in a different way. Do you see that expanding a little bit and growing from that sort of, you said it was like slightly cheesy, slightly corny kind of... Obviously, they work for a certain audience, but in the UK, do you see new genres developing, do you think, over the next year or so? Because we're still very early in our growth period in microdrama in the UK. And I wonder how sustainable that is to just create the Mills and Boon type shows for a UK audience. Surely there are got to be new genres coming through.
Yeah. In terms of genre, I believe the audience eventually going to get tired of if we just keep making romance all the time. But I think we can try different stuff. Like we can try sci-fi, we can try a horror, we can try a thriller, we can try something with like sport or comedy. Comedies are like quite common now for vertical drama, but the comedy bits are not that great.
Right, okay.
Personal opinion, most of the time. Yeah, but there's so many different things that we can do, but from my perspective, you still have to involve a bit of a romance into it, right, based on who the audience are, based on what the audience want to see. But by doing so, you embrace other genre into this rather than just purely romance story. You get to attract different demographic of audience into this new format, but you also get to keep your current romance audience because there's still some romance element into it. There's still a man and woman falling in love.
So romance, do you think, is the absolute non-negotiable in terms of microdrama?
I'm thinking if there's one platform that's not doing romance at all, maybe they're just doing like a thriller, let's say, for example.
Or action adventure or something.
Action.
Yeah.
Then you are facing a different type of audience, and the business format can be completely changed.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about the current fan base that already exists, I think romance is still a key.
And who are the current fan base then?
If we're talking about that, I highly shout out to Jen Cooper, who is the amazing woman behind Vertical Drama Love. She actually conducted this fan survey report that 1,600 people use their valuable time in life filling in, and she generates this really detailed report. Those are the people that behind. We always say the vertical drama is a data-driven industry, which is not wrong. It's absolutely correct. But behind the data, there are real people. The real people are paying their real hard-earned money like into to finance these kind of things keep going. I highly recommend that anyone that are interested in this industry, especially for production company, platform, etc., go and download her survey report. It's completely free. So by reading that report from the very beginning to the end, I see there's people in their probably like late 20 to mid 40 that are mostly teacher, care worker, housewife, or some even have like difficulties in life that are maybe they're disabled or they cannot like. Life can be a bit harder for some of the audience than for vertical content. And in the survey, there's one thing that I see someone written down that it really touched me, and I will keep thinking about what they said, because there's a question that Jen want everyone to literally write down their own unique answer. Say why you watch this, and this person said because I'm disabled and I'm in a wheelchair on a daily basis, but I still have to work. So I don't have cinema is less accessible for me, and because I still have to take care of my kid, and I have worked 2 jobs, so I only have the time to watch something or have some me time, like long time, my time before I go to bed, and that time probably only going to be like 20 or 30 minutes. It's not even long enough for me to finish a Netflix TV series. Like just one episode of the Netflix TV series is not enough time for me to do so. And I don't want to watch something, and I would like to watch something scripted, not like brainlessly like scrolling on my TikTok. Yeah. And I see those are the people that are behind the cold number that the industry have not really talked about or think about.
Okay.
Yeah, as they deserved. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think, there's a lot of broadcasters, a lot of production companies starting to get interested in this space in the UK in particular. I'm sure that we've seen lots in the States already. What do you think that UK TV producers might misunderstand about the economics of microdrama and the approach in microdrama?
I think if you watch 10 vertical drama, you kind of already know how it looks like. But I think one thing is that when you look at it from a traditional film and television background, because I did the same. Like when I first heard vertical drama was the thing I was heard from the Chinese vertical drama, even before ReelForce and Drama Box did this. I look at it and I was like, as someone who works in the industry, I'm like, what the F is this? Like, I wouldn't want to be part of this. Yeah. But you need to understand why this thing exists. That's number one. Like, don't think of it as a downgrade. Think of it as something different. And stay humble in the way that you are willing, if you want to make money out of it, at least spend your time to research why this format exists. It makes sense with the technology development. It makes sense with why the user want to watch it. It makes sense psychologically how they're designed to get people hooked. Yeah, the production value. Yes, there's still you can. The more money you spend, the more production value you can have. It's not necessarily an unsolvable problem. And the second thing is understand the distribution game. It's not the same as how a regular low budget film will be distributed. Like the whole licensing thing is played completely differently at the moment. Maybe it will change in the future, I don't know, but it has developed since I was doing it for the first time, and then now it had like multiple different ways to do it rather than just one simple way. So I think those are the two things for someone that have more of a traditional background that will wanting to get into vertical. Those are the two things that I think they need to like do their research and step in, and then probably learn about it and then figure how they're going to approach it.
Yeah. And you said that the business models are changing all the time in a number of different ways that the app businesses are working with producers. Are they commissioning at the moment, or? Commissioning
is one way to do it.
Yeah.
Commissioning, the good side of it is you're not going to lose your money. Yeah, they give you the money to do it. You keep your profit, and that will be it. Like, no matter how flop the show is, no matter how successful the show is, had nothing to do with you.
That's like a typical TV industry sort of transaction that's traditional.
And there's another way is co-finance. Co-finance means you put half of the money, mostly half, but it depends on the percentage, and the platform put half of the money in it. The script can come from the production company, or it can come from the platform, and you get to share the revenue that made.
The revenue share at that point, yeah.
But that is a high risk game, from what I understand.
Right.
That because as a production company, you put down your money to cover half of the production, but for the platform, not only they gonna spend money on the production, they're also gonna spend time on the paid ad on social media to promote the show, and that is a lot of money, sometimes even more than the actual production budget for the show. And when they share their profit with you, they have to take that part out.
Yeah, they have to recoup
and then share
that
it with you
first.
the rest.
Yeah.
And so for them, the budget is not just whatever spent on the production.
It's actually double probably what.
Yeah,
what
double
they
or
suffer.
potentially even more.
Okay.
So think of that and think how much money you can actually get back.
Yeah.
And the other way to do it is you self-finance. Or you find other investor to do this show, and then approach the platform and say, hey, I'm going to sell this show to you. Are you interested?
And you
Have a
can
look at
license.
it.
You can then be in a position to license it and give different windows. And
Yes.
Does it have to be exclusive? I mean, could you?
It can do many different ways. It can be exclusive, it can be non-exclusive, and it can also be the first window, second window, third window.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as the IP is yours, you can do whatever you want. But the thing is, because there were so many vertical being produced every single month, how great your show is for the platform to offer you a really good deal. Because they are producing their own stuff as well. If they think that your stuff is better than theirs, that's when they can offer you a good deal. If they don't think your stuff is better than them, they will offer you a really shitty deal and just one more show on their platform.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that it's going to mean to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, obviously, we know it's super low budget. We've talked about that, the challenges that come with that, potentially really high rewards, depending on which way you're certainly for the apps and maybe for the producers as well, depending on how you're approaching it. But AI is clearly a really important sort of driver in the background to the whole microdrama industry. How do you use AI in the production process? Do you use it through every different stage of the process?
At the moment, we are only using AI for the post-production.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know people, like, especially in the Western world, we always talk about the moral behind the usage of AI. For me, I just genuinely don't believe that people will pay that much money to watch a completely AI generated show. So it's not healthy for the environment, like it's not eco-friendly, and it's not sustainable for providing a healthy industry environment as well. Like in the long run, people will lose their job. We will have less talent that contribute to the growth of the industry. So highly against that using AI to replace real actors. But for post-production, yes, I did a medieval fantasy. I don't have Hollywood budget to do all the post-production like how they would do. So that is the only way of us using the AI for now. I don't know what the future is going to hold, but yeah, for now, that's the only way.
Yeah. Okay. So if you had to give one piece of advice then to, I can imagine there's lots of UK drama producers now who are not getting the opportunities. The commissioning in the traditional TV industry has gone away. Opportunities are certainly fewer. But there are many drama companies who've got great experience at making, really high quality shows. What single piece of advice would you give them if they're thinking about exploring the microdrama space? What would be your advice to them?
I would probably have two if allowed.
Yeah.
One is understand the format. Yeah. The second will be smart with your money. Where to spend it. In doing vertical, the budget that you have, you are not going to be able to do it all. You need to figure what you can sacrifice and what cannot. Yeah.
Yeah. And make sure all of the money goes on screen, basically.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
seems to be the key. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then where do you see the future of microdrama going now in the next sort of 2-3 years? Because, you're a really experienced producer now. It must be an exciting time for you because everybody's talking about it in the industry. There's lots of potential for it to go in lots of different directions when it starts to evolve and mature in different markets. So, where do you see it going now?
I think that personally, I really thank vertical drama because as a foreigner that come to the country, that before vertical was a thing, the industry is really difficult for us, people like myself, to break in. But thanks to vertical that really come from the Chinese background, that me being a Chinese person, that actually gave me the opportunity to be where I am today. It gave me a smooth start, and it helped me grow as I'm helping bring in more and more production here in the UK, creating job opportunity for the crew and cast and stuff. And I think that in the future, as we can see, the Hollywood is stepping in. So for that, I think we're gonna see a really interesting thing happening. That vertical will be, I believe, shift into a different type of storytelling. At least there are more type of storytelling gonna happen, not necessarily the only one like we talked about earlier. That I'm really interested in, and I believe it will be something more like the Chinese vertical and Hollywood in between. Now it's just like English but Chinese vertical. But with Hollywood and more people have like high production value experience, traditional film and television people coming into this genre, I think it will be somewhere in the middle from the Chinese vertical type of thing and the Hollywood type of thing, and somewhere in the middle of that, which is the balance of this unique storytelling and a more morally correct and more high-end, more diverse type of story.
Yeah.
Telling entertainment format, which I'm really excited about.
I wonder if one day we'll see a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible microdrama series, or we saw that with Fox Entertainment. They're going to be bringing a lot of their talent to their partnership with Holy Water, right? So
if Tom Cruise is down for it, I would like to be the runner for that show.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, let's hope he listens to the show. I'm not sure if he does, but maybe he should. It's time now for Story of the Week, Hero of the Week, and Get in the Bin. Let's start with Story of the Week. What is the main story in the TV and broader content industry that caught your eye in the past 7 days?
Obviously, I will be focusing on vertical drama, and I saw this piece of news that I think I would like to share. So basically, in the past week, CES 2026 in Las Vegas, Disney announced a major shift in strategy for Disney Plus by planning to introduce vertical short-form video content to the platform later in 2023, in later 2026.
Yeah.
So Disney is on it as well.
Yeah, Disney's on it. We also saw recently that TikTok's launched a microdrama app as well.
Yeah, but I think it's now exclusively in the US. Yeah, it's called Pine something.
Pine, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and they also have their own TikTok mini that you can, at the independent production company or producer, you can upload your own show and people can just pay and watch on TikTok directly.
Right. So
they don't have to download any app. And as the content creator, you don't have to worry about building your own app. But obviously, potentially they're going to take a cut, and Apple Pay, Google Pay, that's how people, make the transaction on TikTok. They're going to take a cut as well. But it saves you from the hustle of distribution, building an app and stuff like that. So I think it's a really good opportunity for more independent people that maybe they have lower budget or they don't know how to reach out to the big name vertical platform, but you can still find your way to monetize it without having to go through someone else's app or building your own app.
Or get a brand to fund it.
Yeah. Maybe you can do like a pilot thing and put it out there, test the water first, and then use that to ask for some investment, or then reach out to the platform so they, hey, see, I'm doing well now.
Yeah.
This thing have potential.
Yeah.
So TikTok is doing that. So I think it's a good thing for independent.
It's really interesting. We saw recently that talking about brands, we've seen Procter & Gamble launching P&G Studios. We've seen Starbucks, lots of other brands that are launching their own production studios. So you know, you would imagine that there's going to be more and more sort of drama series that may be totally brand funded as well coming up. So
I would love to make a show like a sitcom kind of vertical that happened like two barista working at Starbucks.
Yeah. Well, it could be like,
It's like two broke girls.
What is it like in Friends as well when they go to the coffee, what's it called? The cafe in Friends. That's it. Central Perk. Thank you. Yeah. Who knows? You know, there's lots of different formats that can work. Okay. So how about your hero of the week?
I think my hero of the week is actually the people that, even though they might not have like a platform background, or there are many people that in the UK, they're more independent, that they're actively trying to breaking in to vertical. Even though as a production company that we might face some sort of challenge, but at the same time, I believe it's a competitive industry. It's a healthy industry. If no one is doing it, it's about to die.
Yeah.
So the more people are doing it, if we have a platform from the very top to the very end, we have more people that are building their platform in the UK. We have more producers working on it, more like crew working on it, and more audience from the UK, based in the UK, that are watching it, that are consuming it. We internally can build a healthy industry within the UK.
Yeah.
Because now the platform are come from China, but if they one day decided, you know what, we're all not going to go to UK to give them our commission, then we have been kicking out of this industry because we have no infrastructure within the country ourselves. Yeah.
So your hero of the week is basically everybody that's working within the microdrama ecosystem.
Everyone that
in the UK.
Posting things on, sharing information on LinkedIn, everyone talking about it on the street, or like everyone that's trying to, network with people, let's say, talk about how we can get in, or even like the drop media that are posting article about it, just spreading it everywhere. So more people hear about it, the more opportunity there will be.
Yeah. And the Digital Video Awards, of course.
Yeah,
we're recognizing
that I'm definitely going to submit.
Fantastic. Well, we're recognizing microdrama apps and also series for the first time this year. So that's exciting. And finally, who or what are you telling to get in the bin, Samantha?
That will be, I don't know, New Year resolution.
Aha!
I don't know.
Already?
I try to do it every year. And this year I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can be so determined to do something and life just hit you in the face.
It does.
Yeah.
And then you feel like a failure.
Yeah, and you feel like a failure. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to try everything, my very best, and see how the future going to go.
Yeah.
Without having a set goal and feel like a failure when something happened and I wouldn't be able to achieve that.
100%. Let's all chuck New Year's resolutions in the bin.
Let's chill a bit.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Samantha, thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been really fascinating speaking to you.
Lovely, Justin. Thank you for having me.
And I can't wait to hear about the next project you're working on in microdrama.
If you invite me back again.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it. And maybe we'll do something on the drop as well. But thanks again for coming in.
Lovely. Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Well, that's all for this week's show. TellyCast was produced by Spirit Studios and recorded in London. We'll be back next week with another show. In the meantime, stay safe.